Is the housing market taking a turn for the good in 2026? I'm Veronica Morss, your Seattle and East Side real estate broker, and we're going to talk about how the housing market has maybe been kind of quietly building momentum here and what could that lead to in 2026. Now, the first trend that we're going to talk about is interest rates. We are probably so sick of hearing this word over the last few years, but it is what it is. Mortgage interest rates, they've been up and down all year, but that is just the game of interest rates. That's what happens for the last many years. But overall, if we look at the year of 2025, we actually do see the trend, going downward. So what this means is going to open up a lot more opportunity for buyers. Buyers are going to be able to afford a lot more than what they could have. And as other costs are increasing, affordability is going to be probably one of the top pain points for people in this market right now. So the interest rates coming down, we do have another Fed meeting in January. While they do not essentially correlate together, we do see the trajectory of what happens when the Fed cuts rates and we see the mortgage interest rates, ideally follow. So that's ideal. And the second trend that we're going to talk about kind of ties into interest rates, but more people are ready to sell and move. I mean, we were stuck in this area where homeowners were in their 2 to 3% interest rates. They did not want to sell the home and buy something of the same price but pay way more with higher interest rates. But now as we see these rates trickle down a little bit, we are noticing that more sellers are going, okay, fine, I can deal with it. I'm ready to go. A big part of this is also just life changes. If you were in a big life-changing, maybe you were empty nesters, maybe you just had twins, whatever it may be, it was really hard for them to still sell out of that low interest rate to buy something with a lot higher. So we're not only seeing more people's just life changes making the move, interest rates are starting to come down, and we just did see inventory from both a national level and local level here in Seattle area. We saw a lot more inventory come up for sale. So we are seeing sellers wanting to make that move. We are also seeing when it comes to life changes as well, not only is it, growing or not growing, but just costs. So a lot of empty nesters that have this huge home, they don't have any kids anymore here. Well, insurance costs are rising heavily, maintenance, property taxes, where they're getting stuck. They don't need this amount of costs every month. And these lower interest rates are, again, just kind of helping them push to say, okay, the difference in interest rates might actually be beneficial in regards to what the cost of maintaining that home is at this moment. And the third trend that is helping us kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel for 2026 is that more buyers are re-entering the market. Now, this is a great stat here. We were seeing that mortgage applications were rising they took from October and throughout November. Now they compared those mortgage applications of this year compared to last year in those same weeks. And we saw an increase for all, consecutively of more mortgage applications. So the low interest rates, more homes for sale, just big life changes. We are really seeing the buyers out there start to get back into the activity. Even here locally in the greater Seattle market, Kirkland and Bellevue, surprisingly, we are in December now. I have seen a lot more pending properties go in the most recent weeks than I've seen in a while, which is great, especially this time of year and for this time of year. So with what we're seeing and what I anticipate for 2026, we're anticipating a good year. Experts believe it, economists believe it, and I believe it. We have seen that I think with the spring market in greater Seattle, I've mentioned this many times before, we have an early spring market. We have another Fed meeting in January. Now, after the last Fed meeting, we're a little bit unsure of what the probability is of a rate cut. Again, but with rate cuts, it's not always aligned with mortgage rates. However, we do tend to see it kind of follow, and it's more so also for the stock market. In Seattle, if you're buying properties, above 2-3 million, we're seeing a lot of the stock market guide buyers because that's where a lot of their funds are coming from. So considering we don't have one in a Fed meeting in February, we have one in January, and then we're already in that early spring market in mid-February, March, I do see some just really pent up demand, and people are going to come out of the woodwork hopefully in 2026. So if you are ready to chat about your selling or buying goals, it's never too early, whether it's spring or summer, but just getting everything aligned and making sure that you're either you're positioned well if you're a buyer, and of course if your home is positioned well as a seller. So contact me, Veronica Morss, your Eastside and Seattle real estate broker, and let's get you ready for 2026.